Hello everybody, Starcraft here, and this is my tips and tricks video number 2. It's just something I put together every once in a while as a way of thanking everyone who supported me over the last couple months and anyone who's donated as well, so I will be including a list of all the donors in the description below. It's quite a hefty list, so I won't be personalizing it too much by naming the units or anything like that, but I hope you guys realize that this video exists because I wanted some way to please you all for donating, so I really do appreciate it, but let's get started here. The first little trick I want to show you has been done in a Korean replay. Actually, I don't remember who exactly did it, but first of all, let me just say, when you plant down a hatchery and you cancel it, there will be a little layer of creep that will allow you to build a 3x3 building if you do it fast enough. So if I cancel and then press BV for evolution chamber, I can actually get an evolution chamber on there before the creep recedes. So that's kind of cool, but not very useful. You can't really block ramps just because you can't get it in the right position. But what a Korean guy did, sorry Korean guy, I don't know your name so I can't give you any credit for this, is he canceled the hatchery and he put a creep tumor on the creep before it receded, and then with that creep from that tumor, of course you have to bring a queen up, he would build spines and actually block his opponent out, and he actually won the game with this, being able to contain his opponent and eventually take out his expansion. So a very neat trick. If you guys got quick fingers, you can try that out. Next we have a typical situation. Just pretend this is Lost Temple, and this is the ledge that the Terrans always will Thor drop. And what if your Terran and the Zerg is prepared? They've got 3 spines, they've got some overlords doing some scouting over here, they're going to see that Thor. There is a trick you can use, and it involves your orbital command. So let's say your Thor got a little bit too adventurous, he's taking a lot of heat from these 2 spines, this queen is attacking your medevac, and you really need to repair it. You're going to back up and try to repair that. You can call down your mules. If you don't have time to run back and get some SCVs, just call down some mules and start repairing that Thor. Of course, you want to make sure that your Thor will kill the expansion, because mules are very... they want to be mining, really. They don't want to repair, but if you have to, it's a great technique. Kill this last spine crawler and then focus down the hatchery. So when in a hectic situation, call down some mules and start repairing that Thor. The next little tip has to do with banelings and their explosions underground. This is probably known by almost everyone who watched my channel just because most of you are Zerg players, but you can actually explode them while they are burrowed just by pressing the X button. So if you select all of these banelings, wait for the enemy to walk over them, and then just press X, and just like that, all the Marines are dead. Marauders are very weak as well. There used to be an autocast function on the explode. I think they might have taken that off, or maybe I'm just missing something. But exploding is better than just unburrowing. I've come to terms with that. I used to think otherwise, but just because if you're move commanding and you unburrow your banelings, they'll just kind of clumsily run away or run towards the Marines and just not get a lot of hits in. And if they're attack commanding and you unburrow, you might lose a couple of banelings out on the outskirts, but actually that didn't go so bad. So I suppose if they are attack commanding, unburrowing is just fine. But if they are move commanding, it's not going to be real beneficial, and there's no way you can know which one they are doing. Next, we have move speed bonuses. Everyone knows that Zerg units get move speed bonuses on creep, but how much exactly actually differs from unit to unit. So we'll start out with the Zerglings. Zerglings receive 0.88 out of their 2.95, or added to their 2.95, so that's a 30% bonus. Banelings get 0.75 added to 2.5, 30% bonus. Infestors receive a 30% bonus. Ultralisks actually receive a 30% bonus as well, and they're actually the same exact speed as Zerglings without the Zergling speed, so that's kind of cool. And Roaches also receive a 30% bonus. So what units differ? The Queen, obviously, because the Queen is extremely slow off creep. She actually gets a 170% bonus while she's on creep to move speed. And Hydras, this is kind of weird. They're like a specialized unit that's really, really good on creep. They receive a 50% bonus to move speed on creep, so a difference in Hydra speed compared to the other units. Very strange. Drones, of course, don't receive any bonus. That would make mining a little bit too good. And Changelings don't either, and of course Marines don't because they're Terran, so yeah, I don't know why I put them there. So that's pretty cool. Now you know different move speed bonuses. While Roaches are burrowed, actually I'll go over that a little bit later, so different speed bonuses you now know. Let's see. Okay, we have a typical mining situation here. You have 8 drones, one on each patch. And let's say you just rallied another drone, and you're going to send it to a patch. Would you want it to send it to this one? Probably not, because there's a drone already there. But if your drone is like very close to being done, this guy's very close to being done mining, and you don't want this guy to go bounce around somewhere else, you can actually force him to mine on it just by right-clicking it a whole bunch. See how he kind of stutter steps? And just forcing him on a mineral patch that you want him on is a good way of increasing your mineral income. Damagi uses this. I think Idra's been seen to do it a couple times, so kind of an effective tip for early macroing. Let's see, next is the Starlife drop. Starlife actually used this on Metalopolis in one of the high yield positions. What you can do against a typical Zerg force, against a typical Terran force, Baneling, Zerglings, and Mutas, against Marauders, Marines, and maybe a Thor or two, is actually bait the Zerglings with Marauders. So let's say the Zerg force, I'm just going to send them all in at once just for the sake of showing you guys this. The Zerg force is just going to send all of their units in, and the Terran force is going to try to bait these Banelings by dropping Marauders on them. So let's check this out. Here comes the Zerg force, and what you're going to do is just drop Marauders on top of the Banelings. Almost all the Banelings go down. Marines are nice and safe in the back, and Terran's going to end up winning this probably. I don't know, maybe I added too many mutas. But yeah, you can see just exactly what I did. Just use a medevac, drop Marauders on top of Banelings, and bait a lot of their attacks. So your Marines are happy in their living and they're not covered in acid. Next up, we have a little situation here. A lot of players have problems with Hellions, but you can actually block a ramp with 2 spines, or sometimes 1 spine, and a Roach Warren. I know this because I actually did it to myself on accident. And it prevents any Hellions from getting in. It is not large enough to block small units, however, so be careful of Zealots or Marines. I'm not sure if Marauders can get in, but if you're ever, if you just want to make sure nothing gets into your base, you can give this a shot. Whoa, what happened? So that's kind of a cool trick, and you can always uproot to let your units free. Oh, this one's awesome. This one is awesome. Neural Parasite. This is one that TLO loves, and you've probably heard Artosis say it a couple times as well. But you can actually Neural Parasite Zerg eggs, and watch what happens. It's hilarious. Watch this. They actually just explode, like... And the Neural Parasite sticks on it, and I don't even know if there's a timer. I don't see a timer on that. What the heck? Okay, there's got to be a timer on these. Wait a second. Did they get rid... Oh, no, there's the timer. So yeah, there still is a timer on normal Neural Parasite, but there isn't a timer on the... when you Neural Parasite the eggs, and the eggs die. Blech. That just killed an Ultra. That's awesome. So yeah, Neural Parasite immediately kills eggs. Next one is the visual that you see when you upgrade to Tunneling Claws. Check out these roaches. You'll see a little graphical improvement once you get the Tunneling Claws upgrade. My elite map editor skills made it a 5-second research, so here we go. Check it out. Oh yeah, your spikes turn into your player color, so that's kind of cool. Unfortunately, they don't get anything from Glial Reconstitution. Banelings don't get anything from Centrifugal Hooks. They do get their roll, as you can see.
Research complete.
And Ultralisks don't receive anything from chitinous plating, unfortunately. Nothing. Sorry, guys. But Zerglings, they do receive something from Metabolic Boost. Check it out. Yeah, they get their wings. Most of you probably knew that, but did you know if you watch a Zergling run, he actually has a little skip in his step. Every once in a while he'll do a little float and flutter his wings. Okay, you're making me look bad here, Zergling. There we go, see that? Flutters his wings a little bit, allows them to travel faster and hover above ground. They should be able to cliff walk with that. Kind of broken that they can't. Next we have, this is just kind of a goofy one. You'll see a Terran player with a reactor on the starport. Pump out a couple Vikings, pump out a couple medevacs. They have the same training time. But rarely do you see 1 Viking and 1 medevac. It's kind of funny to see this, like they're both training at the same time, different units. But yeah, you can train both a medevac and a Viking at the same time. It doesn't have to be just 2 Vikings or 2 medevacs. The next little tip or trick has to do with the sensor tower. I've always wondered, can sensor towers see burrowed units, and can sensor towers see cloaked units? Well, we're going to find out by my awesome map editor skills, where we will see if we can or not. So, first of all, just to show you that I do know what I'm doing, notice I can turn off vision and see these units on the sensor tower. Now I'm going to burrow these roaches, send them into the sensor tower, and then turn off vision and see if I can see them. And no, you cannot, so burrow is not detectable by a sensor tower. And of course, if burrow is not detectable, it's likely that cloak won't be as well. There are those two banshees. Now I'm going to cloak them and send them back in here. And no, you cannot see cloaked units either. In case you were wondering, now you know. Oh, this is a good one. This is another good one. Alright. This is called Outrunning a Planetary Fortress's Very Slow Hydraulic Tracking System. I just made that up right now. What you can do is... Alright, I'm going to send a Ling in this way. It's going to die. But what it's going to do is get... Oh, go back, Hydras. Is get the Planetary Fortress facing... I just failed that so miserably. It's going to get the Planetary Fortress to face away from the oncoming unit from behind. So watch this. Now it's going to take too long to turn, and it actually can't keep up with the Zergling. So the Zergling can run around indefinitely until, you know, the Planetary Fortress finally catches up. He sped up a little bit right there, but still not able to catch the Planetary Fortress. This is kind of fun. Okay, I'm going to try to bring the Hydras up while still microing this Marine and see if the Planetary Fortress will still, oh, I failed, will still attack it. So let me hotkey these Hydras and try this again. So I'm going to bring these Lings up here. That'll get the fire up there, and now I'm going to send in this Ling. Hopefully it won't get shot at. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Oh no, I hotkeyed that wrong. Let's try that again. Bring up a Hydra to bait the attack. It's not going to be enough. Let's do this. This is like this is like the best part of this video, and I'm totally screwing it up. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we can do this. Now we can do this. Okay, Hydras are coming in for the attack. Oh, this is cool! If your Terran has no micro at all, you can just, like, kill the Planetary Fortress without losing any units. Oh, that's so funny. I'm not actually going to kill it because that'll take forever. Alright, what do we have next? We have just a couple more things. First one is something you guys have probably all seen in my other video. If you rally each bunker to the bunker in front of it, you can create a Terran teleport and an infinite loop of Terran bunker unloading and loading here. Select them all and just hold D. That's all you have to do. And look at that, isn't that pretty? That's just cool. And of course, if you rally one of them to a different direction, that's where they will end up. And I believe that is it. Nope, one more. Little known fact by a lot of Protoss players, I highlighted this in the past videos as well. Warp gates, like a lot of new players, they actually ask me, they message me, why would I get warp gates when it's so much easier to macro with normal gateways? You can just queue up a bunch of units and then you don't have to worry about it, and they'll rally where you want. You don't have to press W and bring up the warp gates. Well, the reason warp gates are so good, besides being able to warp them anywhere, obviously, is that they actually lower the cooldown on every single unit by 10 seconds. So Zealot 28, Zealot 38, Zealot or Sentry 32, Sentry 42. So you want to get warp gates as soon as you can. This of course is directed towards beginners because even if it is a little bit of extra macro, that increased unit training time is pretty baller. So I think that's it. Yeah, I think that is it. I was trying to see if banelings could hit up hills or down hills, but they can't. See that Zelda's nice and happy. And I was also trying to find out how you can group up your overlords, and so they do that infinitely. Like, they won't spread out at all. They'll just, like, stay like this and just, like, push into each other a bunch. But I couldn't figure that out either. If you know, let me know. But that is it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this second installment of Size Tips and Tricks. And thank you, everyone who donated. And I love you, and my socks are on fire. See ya. Hello, everybody. Size Starcraft here, and this is my tips and fuck you fucking name of the video.